I like Jessica Stanley and I got a lot of confused backlash like, why do you like Jessica? And I raise you, why do you hate Jessica Stanley? Think about it. I will gladly explain, but first things first, movie Jessica and book Jessica are kind of two different characters. The films combined Jessica Stanley with another character, Lauren Mallory, who is like the most popular girl in school, blonde, and more outwardly cold to Bella. But honestly, even movie Jessica, I think is funny and not worth hating, certainly. But I get why people find movie Jessica annoying, but hateable to me, no. And this is coming from somebody, and please keep this in mind as I explain, who, in spite of myself, has always loved and identified with Bella Swan as a character. The facts are, Jessica Stanley never actually did anything, and she was not all considered a bad friend to Bella. She was a very normal teenage girl, and as far as her actions, she was pretty fair to Bella. She never excluded her. She asked her multiple times if it was okay if she asked Mike to the dance in case Bella wanted to, and she was still willing to hang out with Bella and give her a chance after she properly dipped in New Moon and gave the humans as a whole 10 out of 10 nothing. The reason Jessica is made out to be this like malicious, shady, mean girl is not because she actually in action is that, but because of the misogynistic, not like other girls narrative that exists to glorify Bella, that is then magnified through Midnight Sun and Edward's geriatric, puritanical, misogynistic Joe Goldberg memoir. Like, the reason we're supposed to hate Jessica, allegedly, is because we know how bad her thoughts were from Midnight Sun, and the dark machinations of her mind in question, according to Edward, are literally her having jealous thoughts about Bella, like on the first couple days of school, because all the boys like her, and Mike Newton likes her, and Jessica has a crush on Mike. And Jessica thinks in her head, oh, she's not even really that pretty because she's jealous. And mind you, Edward thought the same thing about Bella, literally. Before he projected his ideal, not like other girls, woman onto Bella because he couldn't read her mind, he was thinking the same thing. She's nothing special, I don't get it. But when Jessica Stanley does it, oh, I gotta protect her from the dark workings of her mind. Like, shut up, old man. And the thing about Jessica for me is that she's intended to be a foil for Bella, but like in the wrong way. She's supposed to make Bella look good and like not like other girls and so much more mature and selfless and more perfect and beautiful than the other teenagers. It does the opposite and makes Bella more unlikable than she even has to be. Bella has the same kind of judgy, sometimes jealous, self-absorbed thoughts that Jessica has, including the tawdry romantic fantasies, just in a different font because Bella's are filtered through a not like other girls complex. And the truth of it is, Jessica and Bella are not so very different. And are either of them nefarious, malicious criminals? No, they're teenage girls. The disconnect is, though, and what I think makes Bella a lot more irritating to people than she even has to be, is that the narrative firmly takes the stance that Bella is not a normal teenage girl. She's so much better. And it ultimately just does not work or land because Bella's actions end up being a lot more selfish than Jessica's, and she is not a good friend to her or any of the humans. She like 10 out of 10 gives nothing, like she doesn't even want to. Now, to be clear, I do think that too, and the topic of Bella's selfishness is a more nuanced topic. I do think a lot of Bella's selfishness is tied up in the Cullens, and I do think she is very much a victim. She behaves like an addict with Edward and the Cullens, and that really is how humans act with these vampires. That's how it works. And that's a different topic, and I think it's very sad, really. But outside of that, do I think that Bella is like malicious, evil, uncaring, doesn't care about people, or has none of the good qualities we're supposed to think she has? No, I don't think that. Outside of that, I think she has pretty standard, run-of-the-mill, teenage girl, workable issues, not unlike Jessica's. It's just ridiculous. Like, you want me to believe that Jessica Stanley is the mean girl when Alice is right there? You want to know who is a properly bad friend to Bella? You know who is elitist and rude and manipulative? And I've said this before, But the Jessica-Alice dichotomy really demonstrates how Bella worships the Cullens. Unnaturally so, because Alice embodies these like other girls, like girly gossipy qualities that Bella like rolls her eyes at in girls like Jessica and Lauren. And yet Bella worships Alice. And Alice is much, much worse. Like there are proper reasons not to like Alice, and Bella would not even like Alice if she wasn't a vampire. Like, she is not the kind of person that Bella would want to hang out with. And I never dislike Jessica at all, but I've come to really like her and appreciate her actually. Because A, like, I think she's funny, and also in part because I actually think that if Bella and Jessica did become friends, it would actually be like very helpful and cute and fun. And I would actually really like it because Jessica could like tell Bella about herself a little bit and maybe help her to get over her not like other girls complex. And it would be cute. And they could like have sleepovers and talk about boys and whatever. And then eventually Jessica would be like, you know, I was just like really jealous of you when school started. And it seemed like you didn't want to talk to me and you like thought that you were better. And Bella could be like, I didn't realize, I'm sorry, like I'm self-conscious and shy and I have a not like other girls complex. You know what I mean? Like it could have been fun. Because let me tell you something, I firmly believe that Edward and the Cullens in general, but Ratward pursuing her in the first place, projecting his ideal woman onto her and romanticizing an intensified, not like other girls 211 version of her that he made up in his head, and then her becoming a vampire, like curated by the Cullens and Alice, truly makes Bella the worst version of herself she possibly could have been, and locks her into it forever. And I hate it, and I really mean that. So I have no beef with Jessica Stanley. Like, of all the prehistoric snakes in this story, Jessica Stanley, no beef from me.